OMT Online Dynasty after that riveting season finale, great national championship between Utah State and Louisiana. We are here in the off season in the portal. Week 1 of 4 will go along every step of our journey here. The final transfer portal of college football 26. It's a big one, and boy, do we need a lot of help. So let's first take a quick look at our team. Shout out ODU. Let me hide my camera for just a second here. You can see finished number 17 in the country, 10-3. Pretty dang good season for the boys here. We'll go over our current depth chart and then look at who we are all targeting come transfer portal time. Now, unfortunately, we did lose Kerry Blanton and one of our freshman quarterback. Were the only two that transferred out. So it was only two, and it could have been much worse. I mean, really, Landman's probably going to be our quarterback one. Of course, Grand Moff Landman, got to show him that proper respect. With the idea I've got a wild idea for offense. We'll see what we end up doing, but it might involve Grand Moff Landman being our QB1 for next season. We'll see how this all shakes out. We are up to a 2.5-star program here too, by the way. I was very concerned about that. After year 4, we went from 2 to 1.5. Now we had a good season, had some good wins, and we're up to 2.5. I think that's going to give us some extra room here in the portal to hopefully get some more guys. So Grand Moff Landman going to be our quarterback 1. Halfback, we did keep Jason the Jet Terry. We still have Jawan Stack. I was a little worried. He's got that deal breaker thing, but he didn't even need any convincing. He was happy to come back. So we got a really good 1-2 punch. We'll see the speed of Landman, those two halfbacks, we will see. We definitely need help at wide receiver because Joyner's a senior. He's going to be gone. Pickens a senior. He's going to be gone. Outside of those two, it's pretty dang bleak here. Theus, I think, is going to be awesome next year. Other than that, I don't know, Chalamet, and then with some progression we're going to put on these guys, maybe somebody else is going to be able to play for us. Landman, actually not a bad wide receiver, but we'll see. We'll see. At tight end, we are still going to have Shakir Pepper for one more season. I believe his speed is capped out, though, at 83. So that's not great. Yeah, his quickness is maxed out right there. So that's not great. We might change it and put Charles up here. And I actually think his speed might be capped out too, but at least that's at 86 compared to, oh, he's actually got one more he can go. So there's a good shot Charles is going to be our tight end 1 for season 6. Offensive line, where it's a bit of hit and miss. I think our tackles we need help with. We're losing Bradley, but we have this guy right behind him, Impact Dev, already a 76 overall, so we might be okay at one tackle position. Guards, we're good with Ben McCollum. We like this guy quite a bit. Star Dev, already an 85 overall. Like where we're at there. Center, we could use a bit of an upgrade. Right guard, we could use some help. We're losing Logan Cahill, and behind him, some normal dev trait freshmen. So offensive line help we're looking for in the portal. Big thing is going to be on our defense, because we are losing all of our edge rushers. Julius Wall's finally going to be gone. On right edge, Javon Griggs is going to be gone. All their backups are going to be gone. So defensive line, defensive edges, going to be a big focus for us here. We are losing our top 2 defensive tackles, but I think depth-wise, we're looking pretty good. Padrino, Sokol, Perkins, Beard. I think we're okay at defensive tackles. Now, linebackers. Pruitt went in the draft, actually, was drafted on, I think, round 6 or something like that. So shout out Cam Pruitt. You're welcome, buddy. Mike linebacker, still going to be Josh Choice. We're going to be able to upgrade him a bit. And Mayweather. We are going after one linebacker in the portal. I wasn't planning on it, but there was a guy, Boder, our Utah State, our defending champion, actually pointed out. So we'll give him a shot. Why the heck not? Corners, desperately going to need some sort of help here. We're losing Dylan Beebe, who actually also got drafted. I think he went in round 5 or something. But Matthew Allers, I think, is going to be an absolute stud for us. Star Dev was already made some big plays during his true freshman season. Excited to see how he's going to look next year. But corners, somewhere we're looking in the portal here as well. Same with safeties, which I actually don't know if we need to, because we still have Kearns coming back. We have Kadu coming back, but our problem with Kadu, I think he can get 1 speed faster. I think we have 1 more quickness upgrade we can do with him. That's still going to be pretty gosh dang slow. I don't hate where Kearns is at. 91 speed. He's already got Robber. And what kind of upgrades can we do on him here after this season? So he can still get a little bit faster. We can get his zone coverage up. We can still get him up. So I like Kearns. That's at least we got 1 safety in there. Strong safety. You have Hicks, but again, that 86 speed, we're losing Bowie. I love the abilities of Hicks, but man, unless his quickness is capped out. So I think we need a little bit more speed up top. at our safety position. So that's how our team is looking here at the end of year 5. Now let's go take a look at how our transfer portal is set up here to get us started. We're definitely going to be leveraging some visits and things we've never really done before, just because I'm an idiot, to try to get ourselves in the best position possible for year 6. So these are all the high school guys. At this point, if we end up getting some of them, great. If not, it's really not a big deal for me. I'm not going to spend any hours on them. I don't think any of them are going to play. Our 4-star quarterback might. We'll see how it goes. We did get some more 4-stars here on the offensive line, 1 defensive tackle. We got a few 4-star linebackers, but it's going to be our last season. Very unlikely any of these guys are going to play. So transfer portal wise, I didn't scout any of these guys. We have to use our hours accordingly. We're going after a quarterback, Clyde Moncrief, a dual threat. We'll see Fresno also in on him there. 4-star wide receivers, Jeff DeValve. Right now, it's just us in Louisiana. Neither of us have a pipeline. We're starting off with the advantage. 6'3" physical route runner. We'll see what ends up happening there. Then Trufant. So if I remember right, the only complimentary visit for wide receivers is a quarterback. So I did want to have a quarterback up here, even if Moncrief might not be the starter for us next season, so we can get a complimentary visit with one of these wide receivers. We'll see which one we end up picking, because I think it's negative if you have multiple wide receivers at the same time. We will see. Just out of spite, I might do this guy just because Louisiana's going after him too. We might. 4-star left tackle, us and Utah State going after him, both with silver pipelines. We'll see what happens there. I have him down at 25 because I just don't really think tackle was as big of a need for us as like guard. So the left guard we're all in on. Only one in on him right now. We have that tier 4 pipeline. Love where we're looking. This right guard, us in Army, but we have that tier 4 pipeline. Love where we're looking. Defensively, we've got a couple power rushers up here. One from Virginia, so we have that tier 4 pipeline again. Only one in on him. One from California. Somehow we have a bronze pipeline there. Not sure how that works, but we're the only one in on him there as well. Then this is the linebacker I was talking about from Notre Dame, Frederick Trimble, who according to Utah State is like a 90 overall, 95 speed linebacker. So that'd be awful fun. So hopefully we can end up getting him. Cornerback help, Ty Carver. And also, I'm paying attention to the archetypes, however you want to pronounce it, to try to get the abilities we want. Also something I'd never done before. So we'll see how that all shakes out for us. We got that 3-star corner, a field. We have Tavita, 6'2" bump and run corner. USF with that tier 4 pipeline, definitely a concern there. Bump and run Damian Riggs, only one in on him. No huge standout pipelines in his top 8, so we like where we're at there. Couple free safeties, coverage specialist, where again USF has a slight pipeline advantage on us, but hopefully we'll be able to overcome that. We will see. And another 4-star free safety, us, Oregon State, and JMU. We have a bronze, and JMU has nothing. Oregon State has nothing, so we'll see how that all shakes out. Then I did throw this strong safety up here, but I ended up taking his hours off. The only ones in on him, we have the tier 4 pipeline, so I feel like we can always go back to him in the future if we need to. But essentially, the plan's going to be and try to set up defensive visits for week 2. So that is going to be Trimble. And then let me actually double check my complimentary visits thing that I had bookmarked. Yeah, so with him being a will linebacker, we just can't have him visit with a Sam or another will linebacker. We don't even have any on our board, so we're good there. And we can have him visit with anybody else on defense. So I think we're going to do him and maybe a couple of the corners here for week 2, and then focus on offense for week 3 if we can get the quarterback, one of those wide receivers, and an offensive lineman probably. How we're going to try to do it. We'll see how it all works out for us, but I like where we're sitting right now. I think there's a strong potential that we are going to have the best team we've ever had here in year 6, and yeah, we'll see what playbooks we end up doing. Like I said, we've got some ideas, but only time will tell. So that's how we're looking here, day 1 of the transfer portal. I will see you guys for day 2. Transfer portal, week 2, it is here. Let's go through, give some quick updates of where we are sitting. I mean, we've learned quite a bit. Thank you to Boder, our Utah State user, and Wes, our Tulsa user, for all your guys' help here in recruiting. I did make a mistake this week, but I think we are headed in the right direction. So all our high school guys, again, who cares? I'm going to move down to the transfer portal. So this quarterback, Clyde Moncrief, the original plan was for a week 3 visit with him and this wide receiver that we're battling against Louisiana with. I accidentally put the week 2 visit on him instead of on True Font. I just wanted to make sure we were staying as far ahead of Clemson as possible, because who knows what voodoo magic they might pull on us here. But I put it on him instead. So week 3, we are going to have complimentary visits with our quarterback Moncrief. Maybe True Font. I actually don't even know if we're going to have to. We will see if Clemson ends up jumping into the fold here or not. I did add a few more wide receivers at the board here, just keeping our eyes on them for complimentary visit reasons more than anything else. Now, these offensive linemen, I did hear from Wes that the guards are kind of bugged when it comes to the complimentary visits, so I'm not sure what we're going to do on that. We will see. We really want to stay ahead and beef up that offensive line for our last season. I think we're looking really good on this 4-star, this right guard, but this left guard with Oklahoma with that tier 5 pipeline definitely has me concerned. So we'll have to do some sort of visit week 3 with this left guard. Our main focus for week 2 though was on defense. So we have a visit with Leo Cook, this power rusher. We're battling with Virginia Tech, who also has that tier 4 pipeline. Now, we also did a visit with our will linebacker, Frederick Trimble, that 90 overall, 95 speed Notre Dame transfer. Notre Dame's trying to get him back, Penn State with the pipeline advantage on us, but because we have him coming to visit, and we have that complimentary visit with our right edge, and we have one with this 6'1" bump and run corner that we're battling against East Carolina with, I'm hoping we will see a really good boost for us going into week 3 for Frederick Trimble. We will see how that works out. That'd be great if we could get him. That really opens up possibilities for us on defense. This corner we're looking great on. Only one in on him as of right now. So we have that visit on this corner. And the original idea was to have all 4 visits be on defense, but USF got to this guy first and JMU got to this guy first. We couldn't do either free safety, and then the strong safety still in his top 8. So not much we could do there. And really, safeties isn't the biggest concern. We can still do one for week 3. With well, not with this guy, because Oregon State got to week 3 first already, but maybe for this guy, 5'11", don't love that height, but I like that he's a coverage specialist. Trying to pay more attention to those archetypes to get the abilities we want in each position. So we'll see what visits we end up shaking with on for week 3. We still could do defense if we really want to get one of these free safeties, have him with this other corner perhaps. Maybe find another linebacker or something, but I'm thinking offense is going to be our plan for week 3. But I think overall we're looking pretty good. We went through and changed a lot of our from hard cells into different soft cells. We only know 2 on a few of these guys, so we're going to double soft cell. We have good grades across the board, so either way we should be in a good spot for this guy. Then we'll switch it to a hard cell when we know for sure what 3 he is really looking for. So we did that on quite a few guys here. A new quarterback we just added again, just in case we want to do some complimentary visits with a wide receiver and we end up losing out on Moncrief before then. Yeah, to Valve, we have the double soft cell. We have a double soft on this other wide receiver, True Font. These guys we just kind of threw on there. We did go some hard cells on the ones we know, like all 3 of the things they want. So we have house call on this left guard. We did keep send the house because a lot of these guys we still only know 1. So something we're gonna have to move around as we move further into the transfer portal. Status seeker here for Leo Cook, a C, an A, and an A. I like the looks of that. Boss, status seeker, Trimble, primetime player. We know that's the 3 he wants. We have an A+, an A-, and a C. I love the looks of it. And we know because he has that playing time as his green check mark there, and then his deal breaker is championship contender, and that was the only one that made sense, because I think the other one that was champ contender and playing time was either conference prestige or playing style. We know those are red X's, so we know it's not those. So we are set on Trimble. I really like where we're at with Trimble. I think we're going to get a big boost headed into week 3. Fingers crossed, we will see. Kept some send the house on these guys that we only know 1 of, and we're just going to have to take it from there. But overall, this is already probably the best recruiting class we've ever had, which is kind of sad, but it's true. It's not good. But we're already 42nd before the transfer portal. I'm pretty confident with 4 4-stars, 5 3-stars. Fairly confident this is already the best class we've had, and I love where we're sitting right now in the portal. So that's our week 2 update. See you guys for week 3. Transfer portal week 3 has arrived. We have got some tight races. It's going to come right down to it. Let's take a look at how we're looking, how those visits we did in week 2 worked out for us, and what we got set up here for week 3. We can go ahead and skip past. I don't know. I apparently just never even offered that guy. I never noticed. It's fine. Not a big deal. Those are the high school guys. Don't really care so much about those. Get down to the transfer portal. So visits for this week, we've got our quarterback, Clyde Moncrief. He had his visit last week with Fresno. We will see. I mean, that's a big gap for us to try to make up. And honestly, I think we're pretty okay with Grand Moff Landman being our quarterback heading into next season with what we got planned for this offense. But we will see what ends up shaking out there. We also got this Tony Silver. I just kind of threw him on the board. Wide receiver we had visit last week. I still think that was a good idea because that gave us a really solid lead over Louisiana. And we can still do something for week 4 if we need to here as well. But we have True Font coming to visit this week, so we can stack with that quarterback as a complimentary visit. Then I did end up doing, we got these 2 other wide receivers on the board too. I did end up doing the visit with the 2 guards. I know Tulsa Wes told me these aren't going to stack right, but we'll have to see. And I know they cancel each other out kind of because it's a left guard and a right guard, so they don't like when they visit together. But if they can stack with the wide receiver and with the quarterback, or with the quarterback, I'm okay with that because they don't actually stack with the wide receiver. Then they'd cancel each other out and be like doing a regular visit, and we want to get both of these guards. So I feel like it's worth a shot. We'll see what ends up happening here. Defensively, with our visits from last week, we're looking good to get this power rusher Leo Cook. We're looking pretty good for this other one here too with Greg Foss. Didn't even do a visit with him, but we are extending our lead on that young man. Now this Frederick Trimble, we had the 2 other complimentary visits, so he was getting 2 pluses on that visit last week. We've got our hard sell bonus going, but Notre Dame is still just barely in front of us. We're hoping somehow, some way, maybe they peel back a little bit. Maybe something happens. We don't want him going back to Notre Dame. We have the prime time player, A-, A+, C. And this is when it kills me that we only have the 50 hours we can put on these guys. We didn't get that bonus with our coach. We can't get that up to 60. But we're hoping somehow, some way we can jump in front of Notre Dame going into week 4 of the transfer portal. Cornerback wise, let's see how we're looking on Carter and Ruggs. Carter, nobody else is even in on him. Honestly, we can start using those hours somewhere else. I think maybe for week 4. I mean, I could do some right now. I just don't think there's that much else that's available in the portal right now that we could realistically get that's worth pulling these hours off. We had that visit in week 2 here with Damian Ruggs, our 6'1" corner, got us that lead over East Carolina. Looking like we have a shot to get him here heading into our final week. We went with the hard sell here, the A+, A-. That should hopefully get us across the finish line here on Damian Ruggs. Now these safeties, we're still in the top 5 for this JC Eifler with USF, so we can still do a week 4 visit with him, one of the other corners, some other complementary things, this strong safety. That'll hopefully be that final push that we need to be able to snake USF for this guy, but we'll see. He might have a little bit too big of a lead on us on this one. And I think we still just have the hard sell because playing style is the only one that we know he's going for. So we potentially could go for a big push in the final week if we stack those visits and if we can find out what a good hard sell for him is. If we have good grades, I think we have a chance at USF, but they're looking pretty good to get this guy. But we will see how it all shakes out. Our big one here, Trimble, if we can snag him, that'd be fantastic. If not, it's not the worst thing in the world. We're pretty good at linebacker with Josh Choice and Mayweather. We would just run nickel 4-2-5, something like that. 2 linebacker defense, we'd be okay. If we can get these 4-star wide receivers, both of them, even if we don't end up getting this Moncrief, be a huge boost for our offense because with halfbacks we're set. Honestly, I'm fine. Like I said, I'm fine starting Landman if we have to. Tight ends we're set. We need wide receivers. We need offensive line. So it's a bit of a risk of doing this with these guards, but we're going to see how it all shakes out. That's how we're looking here for transfer portal week 3. Fingers crossed, boys. I will see you guys for week 4. Transfer portal week 4 Judgment Day is here upon us. We did get some commits here going from week 3 to week 4, so that is a good start. Let's take a look at how we are doing here overall, starting with those guys we got to commit to us. We did get our 4-star left guard. We did get both of our power rusher edges, and we got our 6'1" bump and run corner. Now I don't really run man coverage, but I do think bump and run gets kind of the best overall abilities, so that's what we're going to be doing here. Now who we still have left, who we're still going after here, gonna push for this quarterback Clyde Moncrief. We made up a lot of ground on Fresno last week, but I just don't think it's gonna be quite enough. Honestly, not the biggest deal. We just mainly wanted a quarterback on the board to help get these wide receivers, and I think Moncrief helped achieve that goal for us. And we also just threw on this 6'4" pocket passer, Tony Silver. I mean, he's a 6'4" pocket passer from Wisconsin. What's not to love about the guy? Wide receiver wise, looking pretty good to get both of our 4-stars here. The physical route runner, 6'3". We'll see. You know, I have a feeling these guys are going to be awful slow, but hopefully through some upgrades that we can do here in just a second, we'll have some playable wide receivers on Old Dominion for potentially, I think, like the first time ever, which would be fantastic. Trufant we should be grabbing here too. I mean, I say should be. We're 100% going to get Trufant to Valve unless Louisiana comes in the last 30 minutes here before advance and does something wild. I think we're going to be getting both of these wide receivers. Then another elusive route runner here, Mecca Zambrano. Only one in on him, looking pretty good there. This 4-star right guard, we ended up getting a huge chunk last week, looking pretty good to snag him over Army. Then we just added the center to our board. We're the only one in on him, but we're pretty far behind Rice and Colorado State, so I did go with a full 50 on him to hopefully propel us in front of those guys. And one more right tackle we added to our board here as well. This corner, Ty Carver, another 6'1". I love height at the cornerback position, so we are looking good there. Mike linebacker, just added him to our board here too. Just a little bit more linebacker depth considering we missed out on that Notre Dame guy. This was preposterous here. So I had these 2 free safeties on our board, these 2 4-stars. I hadn't done a visit with any of them. I was thinking, hey, come week 4, if the opportunity presents itself, we can do a visit with them in our strong safety, maybe that Mike linebacker, some way to stack these visits here in week 4. Louisville offered J.C. Eifler, this first free safety, 5'11", which isn't great, but coverage specialist, 4-star, would have been a nice addition for the boys. Not only did Louisville offer this 4-star safety, they had a visit with this 4-star safety they put on to week 4 too. What the hell are we doing here, Louisville? There's a solid chance I'm going to schedule Louisville as a CPU game for us here early in the season to get our revenge for this, because this is crazy. They put visits on both of the 4-star free safeties we were going to try to do for week 4. Now, was that going to be enough for us to catch USF or JMU in these? Probably not, but at least we would have had a shot. We would have had a sweat. It would have been interesting. Louisville put a quick stop to that. Not only that, then I was looking for a different free safety to add to our board. Kevin Nagy, Louisville in the lead, the only other one that offered him. So we are going to try to week 4 visit them, mainly just out of spite. I don't even really care that much if we get this guy, but just because it was Louisville, we had to give it a shot. We'll see how that works out for us. Then if not, we also have this 6'1" coverage specialist free safety. We do have that visit with Nagy, a visit here with Ashmore, which we're looking fantastic to get him. So getting a little bit more safety depth, and then we have a couple visits here on the offensive side of things. Who did we end up doing? I don't even remember. We have some other week 4 visits. I might have done them up here. Yeah, another corner to help boost those safety visits. We just had a corner up here. We were top 5 in already. Then I just threw one on this wide receiver. Why not? Buffalo's not really going after him anymore, but we had one more visit to use. Why not use it on another wide receiver up there? So overall, I think we're in a pretty good spot as it stands right now. Utah State and Toledo just blowing everybody out of the water here. 11 5-stars for Utah State. Thank goodness we only got 1 season left. And that quarterback he got, Gilliam, was from Colorado. I actually have my Colorado shirt on. And I was looking through the players leaving stage, and that guy jumped out like you would not believe. One of the best quarterbacks we have ever seen. We knew Old Dominion was never going to have a chance. It ended up coming down, I think, Utah State, Toledo, and Louisiana. I think were 3 of them in there, and then some CPU teams as well. He ends up going to Utah State. Toledo with only 4 or 5 stars, but 19 4-stars as of right now. We'll do a full recap of everybody's recruiting class here at the end of the transfer portal. But for Old Dominion, I don't believe we have ever had a top 25 class. And as it stands right now, we're in 25th. And I think we're going to get quite a lot more here when we advance past week 4. So I'm excited to see where our recruiting class ends up. It took me, until season 5 going into season 6 to really kind of learn how the recruiting works. But we're piecing it together. We are getting there a little bit. So that's how everything sits here. I'm actually going to be recording our week 4 portion here right as we advance so we can see. We're not going to see all the handshakes because there's going to be 1,000 of them. But we'll all find out together at the same time who Old Dominion ends up with. So let's get to it. So we just advanced past the transfer portal. Had so many handshakes. I just skipped through all of it. We're all going to look together here at National Signing Day. Then we'll look at our position changes here too. I don't think we're going to have a ton, but we will see. So we'll see if we ended up getting any good dev traits, at least on the high school guys we got. Our 4-star halfback is an impact. Again, not expecting too many of these guys. We're going to be playing right off the bat. Potentially the quarterback, but we'll see. I don't think so. I don't think so. So let's get to our transfer guys here. So that'll be down here, starting with our quarterback, Moncrief. We did end up getting him. Wow. Take that, Fresno. Yeah, I can't believe we were actually able to jump and grab him. And we got silver. We got both of our 4-star wide receivers and our 3-star receiver. We did get our 4-star right guard. We weren't able to get this guy. Rice ended up grabbing him. Didn't even offer him, but ended up going to Rice. Okay, interesting. And he's an impact dev. Great, good. But this right guard is a star dev. That's fantastic. I hadn't even been looking at any of the dev traits. Impact there, impact there. Moncrief was a normal. Impact on Tony Silver. Interesting. Pocket passer, though, probably not going to match what we're going to be trying on the offensive side of things. But so far, so good here. Right tackle, just normal dev. That's fine. Corner, normal dev. Mike line, linebacker, impact, nice. Missed out on the star dev free safety. Did end up going to USF. At least he didn't go to Louisville. Star dev free safety, normal dev. We weren't able to catch Louisville on Mr. Nagy, but we were able to grab this guy. Another normal dev, another normal dev. That is all fine. Impact on our left guard. Anybody else down here? One more impact on our 3-star corner. So not too bad. Out of our 35, we ended up missing out on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 30 new people coming in. There's probably be a lot of people we are going to have to cut here, but we will see. Let's take a quick look at everybody's classes. How did everybody end up ranking? We see Utah State at number 1, Toledo at number 2. We see James Madison up there in the top 10 as well. So for the Mountain West, we did end up at 25. I really thought we were going to move up with all those guys we got. Still very solid class for us, though. Anytime we're in the top 25, I'm pretty happy with that. Rice and Oregon State, who are actually going to be down Conference USA next year, 22nd and 18. Louisiana at 17. Then our 3 guys in the top 10. The Mountain West kind of cleaning up here. Let's take a look at our Gold Conference, Conference USA, Georgia State, and who else is the other team moving up? Navy. Very difficult to recruit at Navy, so not surprised to see them not super high up there. But Georgia State leading the way with at 33. You guys can see everything. I don't need to go through every single team on here. Let's go to our American Conference, our bronze. The 2 teams moving up here are going to be Army and Sam Houston. Somehow Timeless Ravens really figured out recruiting at these service academies. To get a top 30 class with Army, very, very impressive there. Then last up is going to be our Sunbelt division here. Washington State is actually going to be out. And who was it that's coming in? We got a new team. Oh, actually not a new team. Actually, yes, it's a new team, but not really. It was Marshall, who was a user team for a while. Jax used to be Marshall, stepped away a couple seasons ago. What conference are they? They're either going to be in the MAC or in the Pac-12, so we'll just check these two. Looks like they will be in the Pac-12 here, and they ended up at 54. 1 4-star, 19 3-stars, not too bad. Our old Southern Miss coach, Star, ended up taking over Marshall, so that's where everybody finished up recruiting-wise here for, I guess, yeah, the off-season after Season 5, heading into our last season, Season 6. Let's take a quick look at position changes. I would be considering moving Landman somewhere. Moncrief, 81 speed. I mean, if we are going to do what we're planning on doing, which is running the Air Force offense, I think we're going to keep Landman as our quarterback. Then we're just going to have to cut a couple of these guys. It doesn't really make a huge difference. Halfback wise, we are good with Terry and Stack. Oh, that Chabert is awful slow though. 82 speed. I wouldn't have hated having another option at halfback, but maybe that's going to be Toll. We'll see how that all shakes out for us. Wide receiver, this is the big one. So these guys are pretty slow. 87 overall, 86 speed, but he's got gold press pro. He's got gold 50-50. I like that. Let's check his player card here and see if we can upgrade his speed at all when that time comes, and we can. He's got uncapped speed. Okay, so I'm liking the looks of this guy. He's only got 7 points as of right now, but once we get to training results, which we actually skip over, once we get to encourage transfers week, speed on DeValve is going to be our number 1 thing, and probably speed on Trufant, who's got gold cutter and platinum sure hands. Okay, hey, now we're talking. Now we're talking, boys. Please let me upgrade his speed though. That's gonna be a big thing, and we can. He's, we got his top 2 grayed out, but outside of that, we can get some speed on these guys, and we've already got some fantastic abilities on these guys. If we can even get them up to upper 80s, low 90s speed, we'll up Theus's speed. Those will be our top 3 wide receivers, and I think we're looking pretty good. We're gonna have to cut a ton of wide receivers. And Chalamet, maybe we can upgrade him and get him usable too, and we'll have 4 solid wide receivers. Definitely the first time I've been able to ever say that about Old Dominion. Tight end wise, we didn't get anybody new here. Let's see, left tackle. Life isn't too bad, all things considered. We should be able to get him some solid upgrades here. This was one of our transfers. Already got strong grip, already got second level, already at 81 overall. Love that. Center, I think we'll be mostly okay there. Then our other transfer that we got here, Greg Williams. Oh, actually, what I think we're going to do, how does he play as a center? Him or McCollum? We can move one of these guys to center. Well-rounded. Let's see. What is his center overall? 78. I mean, I don't hate it. He's a 78 overall. I think I'm going to do that. And he's a star dev, so he should have a lot of points to do some upgrades. Yeah. So we're going to move Williams. We're going to take him from right guard to center. That's going to be our plan. He's going to be our starting center. Thank you for coming in the transfer portal there, brother. And then we'll have Ben McCollum starting at right guard. Love that. Right tackle is our quick step, Braden Bourne. The wide receivers and offensive line, I think we're looking pretty solid here. Now, defensively, our defensive line took such a big hit. Like all of our ability guys left, so we'll see. Hopefully, these right edges that we got come with something. Williamson, nothing. Foss, yeah, no built-in abilities on any of our guys here, but hopefully we'll be able to boost them up here a little bit when that time comes. So linebacker-wise, Mayweather, we're going to boost his speed up a little bit. And maybe a few other things. Try to get him a few more abilities. Same thing with Josh Choice. Now, he's already 90 speed, so I don't think we have to do a ton with him in the speed department, but try to get him blow up. Well, he's already got blow up. Try to get him like wrap up and some other hammer or something like that. I think that's what we'll try, and those will be our 2 main linebackers. We'll have Silverman as a backup option, just in case. Cornerback-wise, let's see. Conrad. Nothing really doing on him. Ty Carver's already got robber. Already's got blanket coverages. Only 87 speed. Just like our wide receivers. Just please tell me he's got quickness that can go up. Oh, he is capped at quickness. And at his coverages and everything. That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. He could be a slot corner, though. Being 6'1" with robber and blanket coverage, I don't hate that. And then Damian Ruggs, 6'1" with platinum house call. Please don't be capped on quickness. Just don't be capped on quickness. Gosh. Painful. So our corner position isn't looking too hot here. Wilkins, boundary is actually probably the archetype I like the least. Allers, he's going to definitely be one of our starters. Then we'll find, look how many corners we have. This is preposterous. We'll be able to find somebody. We'll find somebody that can play outside with Allers. Hopefully. Free safety, we know Hicks and Kadu are pretty capped on speed, so we don't love that. Then we have the 2 freshmen here. Strong safety, I like Kearns. I think he can get 1 faster. And then maybe Smith? Let's check his player card really quick. Because if we can make him a little bit faster and try to get him... Oh, yeah. So we can get him quite a bit faster. His zone coverage is really low, so I'm not sure we're going to be able to get him ball hawk. He's at 60 awareness. He needs 86. We can get him robber, though, which is really, really good. We pretty much only call zone coverage. So if we can just get him robber... I like that. Get him robber and a little bit faster, and I think we'll be pretty set on safety. So that's pretty much how the team is looking here for the most part. Obviously, we're going to have to go through. We don't have any athletes. We're going to have to go through and do our manual upgrades and everything here next week. But I don't think we really have any position changes elsewhere that we really need to do. I mean, we could... Oh, do we want to move one of these guys to corner? Like, do we want to move Smith to cornerback? What would his overall be there? He'd be 70 overall. If he can get robber and be one of the corners, I don't hate that either, but we just need more speed at free safety too. 86, 87. I know we can't get any more speed on those guys. Maybe what we could do, grab, let's see, like Wilkins. What else can we do with Wilkins? Can he move up to be free safety? He's speed cap 2 at 88. Good lord. Just every cornerback I have is just speed capped except Allers. Let's just look around here a little bit. 6'2", Desmond Hentrich. How about you, brother? Can you get any faster? Nope, sure can't. Every single corner I have is just capped on speed. Let's just check them all. Let's just check them all while we're here. Jared Pride, please. Quickness. Okay, so he can get faster. We got one. We have some people that can get faster, but see, I hate these abilities though. Like I need guys I want to run zone with, and the one guy we can upgrade his speed on is somebody who just can't get the abilities we like. Eric Grimes, redshirt freshman. Let's see. Because he's zoned, but his speed is capped. His speed. I don't know. Our secondary is going to get killed. Our secondary is just going to get killed. I'm afraid. We're going to have Carver out there somewhere. He's probably going to be slot. Aller's on the outside. I don't know who our other outside corner is going to be. I mean, do we just leave free safety? He's got Ball Hawk and Robber. Low as dirt, but I don't know what else to do. I don't know what else to do here. Only other thing I'm thinking is move Smith somewhere. Then he's box specialist, which I don't love. He's a true freshman, so he's not really going to have anything. Ashmore, unless we get 1,000 points on Ashmore, he's not going to be faster than the other guys anyway. Even though his quickness, he can get up quite a bit. So I think I'm just going to keep everybody at the position they're at right now. See how everybody develops, see what we can do with our progression, and then if we have to start a corner at safety, start a safety at corner, or something like that, we'll deal with that when the time comes. But for now, our only position change is going to be right guard, the center. So yeah, that's pretty much going to do it here for our off season. We'll have one more little part where I'll show you guys the full team after I go through and upgrade everybody. Other than that, we are just about as ready as we're going to be for season 6. So I will see you guys in just a second to get you one final look at how ODU is going to be looking. Actually, really quick, we did end up doing a couple position changes, mainly on offense here. It seemed like some things we could do a little bit better, and there's actually one of them right away. That 4-star wide receiver, we got Jeff DeValve. We are going to be moving him to tight end. He was 91 overall tight end, 6'3", 208 pounds, 50-50 cutter. Hands. We can up that cutter, I believe, with our training upgrades we're going to do, and we get him just a touch faster. He is going to be an unbelievable tight end. When I saw that size, I figured it was worth a shot. So with that in mind, he's not going to be a wide receiver for us anymore. At wide receiver, we moved our halfback, Jawan Stack. Now, he played wide receiver for us last year, mainly due to injuries and things. Now we're officially moving him over to wide receiver. We should be able to get takeoff on him when we do the training upgrades. Then we'll still have Theus. We'll still have True Font. We'll up his speed a little bit. Then it's probably going to be Chalamet. Those are going to be our top 4 wide receivers. Still going to be Jason the Jet Terry, of course, at halfback. This Savesos character had like 40 training points, so I went in, did all of that already. He's still only 84 speed, which isn't great, but we got him the safety valve up to silver. We got him sidestep, so in case, knock on wood, something does happen to Jason Terry, between him and Toll, we should be okay in the backfield. And I believe that is all the changes we ended up making here. I just moved one right edge over to left edge, Corey Williamson. I don't think we did anything else on the defensive side or the offensive side, but this was a pretty big position change, so I just wanted to make sure we were clear on what we ended up doing there. Wide receiver DeValve, 2 tight end, halfback Jawan Stack, 2 wide receiver. I think we are all set. I think this is going to work great for us. So now we'll move ahead to the next week, put the rest of our training point upgrades on, and see how the team is looking. And finally, we are here, the preseason for our final season in College Football 26, 2030. And thank you again to Utah State, Boder, and Wes, our Tulsa user, for all the help when it comes to how to recruit, how to do the transfer portal, because I think we have got the best Old Dominion team we have ever seen, which we should by 2030, right? Overall, pretty happy with how the boys are looking. So after all of our upgrades and everything, let's go through our depth chart. We are up to an 87 overall, up from an 82 last season. We are going to be starting Grand Moff Landman as our quarterback 1, up to 87 overall. He's playing at 91 speed, 97 acceleration, 99 change of direction. That is sure going to come in handy with his Air Force offense we are going to be running this season, which if you haven't seen over on our main channel, just Old Man Trying, we've been using Air Force in some Road to the College Football Playoff, trying to figure out that playbook a little bit. I don't know if it's going to work, but I feel like we're onto something with that. And then we do have some, in case he gets tired or hurt, we've got some options back here with a couple 81 speeds. Obviously not going to be as good running it as Landman is, but should be all right. Halfback wise, Jason the Jet Terry, 85 overall, playing up to an 87, 96 speed, 97 excel, 93 agility, 95 change of direction, and some gold shifty. If nothing else, if we can get Jason Terry in the Heisman conversation, not even win it, just get him up in like that top 5, get him invited to New York, this will be a successful season for us. We are going to have Jawan Tull as our backup safety valve and takeoff. I would love this guy. There's so much to like about this guy, but that 84 speed just kills me. 99 change of direction, 97 agility, but 84 speed, 87, 88 excel, not going to quite do it for us. So Terry and Toll will be our hat packs 1 and 2. Wide receiver wise, Jermaine Trufant, cutter, sure hands, only 90 speed, but with those 2 abilities, for sure going to find a spot on the field for us. Robert Theus, sidestep, shifty, cutter. This offseason too, I actually paid attention to getting abilities on these guys, something I didn't do last offseason or the offseason before when I finally decided to go to manual progression. So we're actually going to have some abilities on the offensive side of things. Juwan Stack, who moved him over to wide receiver, got him sidestep and takeoff. And then Chalamet, he gets gold cutter and 92 speed, so he's only 73 overall, really 72 playing up to 73. But pretty solid wide receiver, pretty solid top 4 for us. Tight end wise, that 4-star receiver we got in the transfer portal, changed him over to be a tight end, and he looks like a heck of a tight end. 91 overall, 87 speed, 89 excel, not platinum, I wish. Gold 50-50, gold sure hands, and silver cutter. The tight end is going to be pretty important in that empty pistol offense of Air Force. So having a stud tight end like this, love it. Love the looks of it. And our offensive line, overall wise, not going to be great, but we did get some abilities on our guys here. Option shield and outside shield on our left tackle, which is going to be the side we're running that speed option to out of the empty whatever the last empty pistol is. I can never remember all the formation names. And there's not really a lot of inside runs out of those playbooks. So outside shield, option shield, a nice little combo there. Left guard, we're going to have an inside shield, ground and pound. I don't know. I guess QB blast would count as an inside run. So inside shield on our guards. I think that makes sense. Shout out Ben McCollum, one of the highest overall guys we got on this team. Center, pocket shield, and a gold strong grip on Greg Williams. Right guard, this was another transfer guy. Same with that center. We moved him from guard to center. Another gold strong grip, second level, and inside shield. So I actually like the looks of this offensive line. I like the looks of this team. Quick step, option shield, outside shield. So both of our tackles have option shield and outside shield for when we want to run load option or speed option. I like the looks of that. And then we have some inside shields on our guards for when we want to run QB blast with that strong grip on our center. I'm liking how this team's put together on offense. On defense, not so much. we really weren't able to get a whole heck of a lot cooking here on defense. Greg Foss, we got a takedown on one edge. Other edge, we're going to have a whole lot of nothing on Corey Williamson. Defensive tackles, not too bad. We're going to start some lower overall guys just because of abilities. Pocket Disruptor, Workhorse, Hammer on Adonis Perkins. Same thing here on Gideon Uzoma. So those will be our 2 starting D tackles. Then Boy Slow. But the Pocket Disruptor, I think, is going to be pretty nice. Linebackers, we're going to be starting Kyrie Mayweather. Got him up to a silver wrap-up and 87 speed. And Josh Choice, Aftershock, and Blow-Up on the 90 speed linebacker. So we're still going to be running 2 linebacker sets. I don't know if we're going to stay in 4-2-5. We probably will. Yeah, I think we will. At corner, we're going to have Allers on the outside. House call, 6'1", 93 speed. Then we are going to move our strong safety. Kearns is going to come down and be our other outside corner with 93 speed and gold robber. We really wanted to get robber. That was a little easier for us to get than it was like ball hawk and house call and those kind of things. At free safety, Marcus Cadu, robber, only 89 speed, but it's like my secondary is just so slow. I just don't really have great options pretty much anywhere here. Strong safety, we are going to have Smith starting up here. Another 89 speed, 6'1" with robber. And then slot corner. Who are we putting at slot corner? I think it's a free safety. Who actually, I have to kind of adjust this if we are going to be staying in 4-2-5. Rashawn Hicks. He's only 86 speed, but he's 6'2", ball hawk, house call, and robber. So if we put him at strong safety 1 and move Smith down, then he'd come down and be essentially the slot corner in your default 4-2-5, but I actually don't know if I like that, because what I like to do out of the 4-2-5, come out in that cover 2 and adjust it to a cover 3 using that slot corner. But if he's only 86 speed, I'm not going to be able to trust him to get back to his deep third like that. So maybe we'll just be in some standard nickel sets or something like that. That's how the team is looking. I like offensively, I like it. Secondary, if we just had a little bit more speed, I'd love it, because we actually got some abilities, we got some things we like. We'll see how it all shakes out for us. But hey, we're starting this season off. Let's see if we can actually, probably have to hide my face for a second, but we're starting the season off number 16 in the country. We're an 87 overall team. We like the looks of that. Now, if we look at our Mountain West Conference, how's it looking this season? We did get joined by Georgia State and Navy. Georgia State, the 82 overall. We still got some God squads, of course, here in the Mountain West. The Utah State team is preposterous. Louisiana to a 91 overall. Utah State, 99 across the board. JMU, 94, which I think is right where they were at last season. Navy coming in 86 overall with Navy. Pretty impressive work being done there by Shane. Sorry, not Shane. Sean. By Sean with the Navy midshipmen. We're coming in at 87 overall. Toledo 95 overall, again right about where they were last season. They might have been 93 or 92, something like that. Tulsa back to 99s across the board. That's why I got recruiting tips from Utah State and Tulsa. You can see there the teams they built. We'll look over their depth charts when we actually go against these teams. In our Conference USA, we have Army and Sam Houston that moved up from the American. Army coming in at 79 overall, Sam Houston at 85. Hawaii, Texas State, North Texas, all still from Conference USA last year. Texas State up to an 89 overall team. Oregon State and Rice down from the Mountain West, but Oregon State 96 overall squad. My goodness. And for College Football 26, we did no penalty on manual progression. I just kind of wanted to see how it would work because we do start with pretty bad teams and we're only doing 6 seasons. We're going to do probably 25% in College Football 27. Still let you kind of build up the teams, but then slow down the God Squad aspect a little bit for next year. Southern Miss is going to be in Conference USA because we had some coaching changes going on. It was kind of confusing, but this was Bowling Green spot. Then we had a new user come in who took Southern Miss because they were available, and he's taking Bowling Green spot, but we're going to see Bowling Green later. Like, it's a little confusing with the whole relegation thing, but it all, in the end, I think it makes sense. Then Rice with a 94 overall. In the American Conference, we had Georgia Southern, who just moved up, 89 overall team there after winning the Sun Belt last season. We got ECU 74, Colorado State 78, USF 86, Bowling Green 81. And this Bowling Green took the spot of Washington State, who was going to move up from the Sun Belt to the American Conference. Again, it was a bit of a jumbled mess for a second, but we got it. Buffalo moved down from Conference USA, and 90 overall team Jay Breeze has put together there for the Bulls. San Diego State 92 overall, and UAB 84 overall, who also moved down from Conference USA. Then our last conference going to be the Sun Belt. We got Marshall. So this was a user team for the first like 3 seasons, then they fell off and somebody just picked them up. It was actually our old Southern Miss coach Star who jumped from Southern Miss to Marshall. That's why they are in the Sun Belt here. UTSA, Fresno State, Appalachian State, Temple, UNLV, Memphis, and FIU. So that is all the conferences that we got. And the relegation stuff is going to carry over into 27. The exact conferences we're going to use might be a little different because it's all going to be based on conference prestige. But we're still going to have the platinum, gold, silver, and bronze going into 27. So what else? Oh, we'll look over the Old Dominion schedule here really quick because that's actually what we're doing right now in real time in the Discord. So here is how the Old Dominion Monarchs schedule is going to look here. Everybody's going to start with a week 0 bye. In season 1, we had 14 weeks, then Army Navy week. In seasons 2 through 5, we had 13 weeks, then Army Navy week. And now in this season, they gave us back to 14 with Army Navy week. And we have to get through this by the end of the month. So everybody's going to be on bye in week 0. We're just going to zip right on past it because recruiting doesn't matter at this point. This is our last season. But we are going to start off with 3 user games, all at home. That's just kind of the way the schedule worked out for us. Army, Oregon State, East Carolina. Army and East Carolina, those were just decided by EA. Those were on there when the schedule was loaded. We did add another user game here against Oregon State. I was planning on starting off against the CPU, but I'm going to be gone for like a week here in the middle of June, and I'm thinking we set this up okay, that we're not going to miss any user games. But we might. So we wanted user games. The only times we could do it was weeks 1 through 3. Trial by fire for this Air Force playbook. So yeah, we're going to be out of town here. Hopefully we'll be back by the time week 7 rolls around, but we're doing the advancing a little bit differently to try to make sure we're done by the end of the month. Is pretty much, instead of usually we do a set 72 hours, this time it's going to be whenever all the user games are done is going to be when we are advancing, just to try to get through it quick. So we got those 3 out of conference user games to start the season, a couple bye weeks, a couple CPU games. We got at Toledo, home for Louisiana, at Navy, Georgia State, JMU, Tulsa, Utah State. They love finishing us off with Tulsa and Utah State. I mean, to end the season at Utah State is going to be pretty brutal. We'll see how that works for us. So that is everything. That is how our transfer portal went. That is how our team currently looks. That's how the conferences look. That is how our schedule looks. I think we are ready as we are ever going to be for our final season in college football 26. Godspeed to coach. Godspeed to Old Dominion.